Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, it's going to be Violet and Reality here on Colosseum. Toy Cop, you might know his name from the Sunday streams. He's a longtime subscriber, and he is a Protoss player, so he wanted me to cast a Violet replay, and I said, yeah, it's been a while, so let's go ahead and cast a Violet replay today for Toy Cop. Bottom left of Colosseum, it is our white Protoss player. It is Violet. And in the bottom right, it is Reality. He is our green Terran player. Green is a very, very smart color for Terran, I feel like. So it's a PvT here on Colosseum, and those of you who do not know, Violet passed away from leukemia back in 2012. He was diagnosed in 2011, and by 2012, he had gone. So man, life comes at you fast, right? Diseases take so many of our relatives and loved ones and friends, and so go ahead and hug your loved ones today and let them know how important they are to your life and your happiness, because you never know what is going to come up here in the future. Alright, so Colosseum, kind of a weird map. I don't think it's played much anymore, but natural base is on the high ground inside your main base. So if you wall off here, then no ground attacks can go up to your main base and or your natural and harass it. So that is nice. And these little neutral sunkens. Is it to aid sunken rushing with this creep here? There is space for a creep colony. I don't know, man. I have no idea. I've heard theories from people who comment about it, but I don't know if I buy any of them. So anyway, hit that like button if you want to see Violet crush Reality here for Toy Cop, but I do not know who wins because I don't watch the replays before I cast them. Crossbond Scout says, no Terran there. Assimilator on the way. Oh, gas. Oh, done. For Reality. So, Factory on the way here. No expansion. Even though it would be fairly easy to throw down a bunker here. Whatever. He wants factory units in this TVP. Post-haste. So the probe says, aha! Here is Reality. Oh, hard walling. Oh, man. So we're not making a Marine. The barracks is not flashing, so that's a good tell for Violet that a factory is on the way, right? Yes, indeed. Worker fights, juking around this neutral sunken. Juke. 300 APM here from Violet, 265, 270 here from Reality. And there we go. Marine did get on the way. And chasing that probe. Robert the Zealot says, "Rrr, rrr, 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 rrr." Oh, hang on a second. The Marine's chasing the probe. Out of position here, but the Zealot does want to kill this Marine. Oh my gosh. Run, Marine. Power walk. And slipping through, and bam. There we go. Marines are small enough to slip through, but nope. Not Zealots, because they are so darn beefy. So, factory into expansion here from Reality. Machine shop. I'm going to say, let's say Vulture Speed. Let's get Vulture Speed as the first upgrade here on that machine shop. Singularity charge coming in, but you don't need it. They're not a bunker here or anything. Let's just start hacking away on this supply depot. SCVs come in to fight, but see, now the Dragoon... Oh gosh, that Marine already took hits from the Zealot. If you pop this up a little bit, I think you can hit that Marine. This Dragoon is not firing at all. Friggin' glitchy Dragoon. Fire on something! Violet's yelling at the screen. Come on! We're repairing each other. Repairing the supply depot. One more hit. Marine goes down. Singularity charge not done. SCV gets killed. But supply depot is fairly healthy because of the repair. Another Dragoon is showing up, and you can high ground fire on it too. Oh, that's so good. Reality's like, they're disappearing into the fog of war. And it is going to be siege mode first. Which, yeah, that's probably a more likely upgrade to go for here. Second base coming in from Violet. It's doing a little bit of pressure with the Dragoon stuff. Range is done. Siege mode's almost done. So, like, your time to be aggressive here is pretty much almost over. I try to get in and try to snipe. Yeah, try to go after the supply depot now. The pathing on that Dragoon is so horrible. Siege comes up. He wants it, though, but can he get it with the repair? But yes, he does get the supply depot. And the Zealot gets wiped out. But hey, supply depot down. It's not a supply block here on Reality, but that was a great move anyway. That was a lot of fun. Second gateway on the way from our Protoss Robotics facility. Are we going to see some Reavers? This is a bit of an older replay, obviously, because Dragoons keep firing up here because, you know, it's got to be 2000 and probably 11 or earlier. I've got a bunch of 2009 replays from him and some earlier ones too, which I would have to use the old client for, which if you like the old client games and the older legendary games from players like Boxer on maps like Lost Temple, be sure to check out the map that I posted between Boxer and Zodiac on the channel just a couple of days ago here. It was awesome. And it's old. It's 2002. It was one of, who's it? SC Legacy's. I think that's who the website is. They're defunct now, but at the time, they kept track of the best plays in StarCraft over the year. And they called that play, one of the plays in that game, one of the pimpest plays of 2002. A high honor, to be sure. So check it out, man. Boxer, legend. We can't forget him. All right? All right, let's not forget that guy. Speed on the way from a Vulture. Supply depot here. Turret coming up. Worried a little bit about maybe Reaver shenanigans. There is, in fact, a robotic support bay coming in. So we are going to see some Reavers here. Neutral Sunken gets wiped out. I don't know for what purpose. Maybe just target fire. Practice, target practice, and target firing. It did happen. Ye old third Nexus probably going to come in here and, yeah, little Dragoon harass. Nothing too insane. Again, it takes 8 shots from a Dragoon to kill an SCV, unlike 1 shot from a Reaver to kill an SCV and all of his friends. Goliath's coming in to try to deal with this. Going for, there you go, Spider Mines here. This is interesting. There's 2 Dragoons in a shuttle. God, this takes me back. I know I talk about this a lot, but man, in the early days, like 1999, year 2000, there would be these little highlight clips that would be posted to websites. It wasn't like full games. It was just like little highlight stuff where it would just show, look at this guy's shuttle micro. And it would just be like a Zealot and a Dragoon just spending like 5 minutes harassing the crap out of a Terran player, just picking up and dropping and attacking and picking up and dropping and attacking. And like, there's not even a second base back home for the Protoss. He's just focusing on micro so hard. Everybody's like, wow, this is so cool. And imagine, I mean, in 2024 where the game is now, come on. We are so far beyond that, it's hilarious. Vultures trying to spider mine out, but there is an observatory and there are Dragoons with the range, so no need to worry here. Violet fan's gonna be okay. Shuttle speed in production? No? Okay, that's weird. Usually we get shuttle speed fairly soon after we start making shuttles, but this is slow. Third base, fourth base potentially here from Violet while being aggressive. I love that. Oh, there's nothing down this right side of Reality's base, so go for the easy target. Yes, SCV-1 down, SCV down. So 2 SCVs down, delaying construction on the factory for about a second and a half. Bam, run away, Goliath. You don't want any of this smoke. Bam, another SCV dies. This is great. Ooh, taking a tank shot and not taking down that Goliath. Not ideal. No, don't unload here. Unloads the Zealots, though. Absolutely. Will force your tanks to unsiege. Beautiful. By bringing the Zealots in, another SCV dies. The construction on these extra factories has been really delayed now. Wow. And then Reaver gets behind the mineral line and gets only 1 SCV die there. You got to be kidding me. Shuttle. Trying. Oh, man. If it had shuttle speed, it'd probably escape. Unload. No. Oh, my gosh. It made it out of there. I would have unloaded and panicked for sure, but he gets out with all of 5 hit points. Meanwhile, like I said, 4th base coming in back home from Violet. What an insanely good engagement there from Violet, killing several SCVs. These factories should be done already, and they're not, and that's a humongous deal. Okay, so look, 4 bases. If you can hold them, you're going to be in a good spot. Yes, have your Dragoons out on the map to engage with these annoying Vultures that are running around, trying to harass your bases, trying to throw spider mines down. I love the Dragoons covering this 4th base a lot. Very, very much. Who's getting better upgrades at this stage of the game? The answer is, pretty sure there's a 0-0. Yeah, 0-0 for the Protoss. Terran is at +1 attack and 0 armor, which is pretty standard. Even back in, you know, I think this is officially a 2009 game, according to the folder that I was able to pull off a zip file that I got off of Team Liquid back in like 2016. They used to have a ton of replays out there, and they still have links to them, but a lot of them are just kind of defunct download hosting sites, like Mega. Actually, is Mega still around? I don't know. Is he still not getting shuttle speed? Why is he doing this with slow shuttles? That is slow. Yeah. Okay, so the shuttle dies, and okay, that was just kind of a fail maneuver. Same position. Reality's like, I'm ready for you? Totally ready for you. Meanwhile, Stargate coming in. I don't know if this is going to be carrier shenanigans or not, but carrier, Citadel, Templar Archives, Arbiter Tribunal. There we go. Arbiter Tribunal already in production. All's well. Upgrades are coming in on that forge for the Protoss. We'll see. It's going to be Arbiters for now, so stasis, maybe some recall. But obviously, there is the potential for some carrier transition here, which is why Reality is going to be scanning a bunch, right? Got to use these comm sats as much as you can. If you're worried about DTs, maybe don't use them immediately. Maybe you want to save some energy there, but it's all good. Guess who can drop 2, though? Guess what? Reality says, I can drop 2. And he's going to drop with a tank and 2 vultures. That's why there's a cannon here, though. I don't know if you can unload it in a position where the cannon can't hit you. Oh, just barely outside of that cannon range. That's great. That's a great spot. Good pro pull out of Violet, though. Did not lose any workers at all. Now that the cannon's gone, the vultures throw down some spider mines, and they're going to try to go after some of these probes, but then the dragoons arrive and take down... Ooh, spider mine not connecting here. And then pick up and get out of there with the siege tank. Whoa, put him low ground and have him start working on your forge that's working on a +2 attack upgrade. Ah, but look at Violet sneaking around the whole time. Comes around the backside, wipes out that dropship. Great stuff out of Violet here, man. Good plays from him. He's up 147 to 110 supply here at 12 minutes. He's getting a 5th base up in the top left too. 3rd base gonna land right in full view of this observer. Bit of an SCV transfer up to this base too. Very, very nice. Very aesthetically pleasing when they kind of come up there like they're snaking. So yeah, I think Violet's cool. 73 to 57 workers. 5 bases, like 4.5 bases to 3 bases for the Terran. He's got a +1 attack, which is great. He's working on a +2 attack. He's getting Storm. He's making Arbiters. Stasis has been researched. So far, so good for Violet. Taking a lot of the map, having a ton of money, being able to remax as necessary. Was floating some cash there until he fired up 6 Dragoons. Got a good, healthy composition of Zealots here too, though. It is always tricky to know how many Zealots and how many Dragoons do we need comparatively to deal with whatever the heck the Terran player is doing. How many Vultures does he have? How many tanks does he have? Is it largely a tank army? Then maybe don't go Mass Dragoons, right? Maybe don't have any Dragoons at all. Maybe just go pure Zealot. If it's a little bit heavier on the Vulture side of it, then more Dragoons, but you got to keep an eye on it, and the Terran can do whatever they want. They can build whatever setup, whatever composition they want to go for here. As these Vultures find this Dragoon group, try to spider mine them to death. Not going well. Okay, there we go. 1 Dragoon died. Another Dragoon dies. All right, never mind. As soon as I said it wasn't going well, it started going really well. Yeah, Vultures are totally willing to trade out their bodies to deal with Dragoons if they can. And they are surprisingly good at it. +2/+1 upgrades on these Vultures is helping quite a bit. I don't think we've seen Recall come through the production tab yet, but it's all good. It's all good. We might get it, we might not. I am a bigger fan of going for recalls to expansions rather than trying to recall in the main, which a lot of Protoss players like to do at the pro level, and I don't fucking understand it. There's the recall, so we'll probably see it. EMP is coming in to deal with the threat of Recall Arbiter. Pretty much your best option in dealing with it if you're a Terran player. Or just making, I don't know, 7 or 8 Wraiths and hunting down the Arbiters. That way when they try to come in, not a bad answer, honestly. Ooh, that Vulture was just trying to come home. He gets sniped. These Dragoons get dragged into cannon fire just a tiny, tiny bit. Just a little bit of cannon fire. Just a little bit of cannon fire from those tanks. extra gateways being produced in this top left base. Loving that. I mean, you're at 76 workers. You need more than just the, 10 gateways you have in your main. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 gateways you have in your main. You need more of them to spend your cash. You have so much of it. Maxed out Violet. Is he going to try to push ground here? The high ground, like, this is a pretty good map for Terran, I gotta say. A lot of high ground positions to put your tanks on. A lot of narrow chokes to attack into. Like, really long chokes. This is just not something Violet's interested in doing, which is why we see recalls. It's sometimes a map-dependent thing what they decide to do. Is he trying to expand up here, too? He is. I love it, man. Violet is going for the greed, and it's a 3-basing Terran, and he's really scary. There has not been a ton of work in reducing this tank count today. So there are a lot of tanks from reality. This might be one of those games, it feels like to me, where the Terran wanders over, kills the main base of the Protoss. Protoss can't do anything about it. He has to relocate all of his tech structures up here to the summer home in the top left. And then we'll see. Arbiter coming in. You're going to unload on a bunch of spider mines, though, sir. I mean, recall on a bunch of spider mines, though, sir. Pretty good recall, though. Kind of dodged a lot of the spider mines by unloading inside the mineral line, which is where you don't want to put spider mines because it will kill your SCVs if they trigger there, too. The third base is under fire. It's going to get into burning, but I think the SCVs are going to come back in and try to save it on the repair, and they are. Excellent stuff here. Zealot's running down, trying to buy some time. Dragoons come in, and they're like, all right, well, we can't get the command center because of the repair, but let's take down a couple siege tanks from the high ground, and by that I mean one of the siege tanks gets wiped out. But hey, lost mining time. Command center is on fire. 76 to 54. On the worker count still. Some SCVs died here, but not that many. Still 54 workers for the Terran. It's not like he got absolutely obliterated or anything. Man, we're getting Arbiter. Yeah, Kadarin Core. Arbiter Energy is coming in. More gateways coming in the top right. Violet is absolutely trying to bully this Terran player. Is it going to work, though? I don't know, because there are a lot of +3 tanks here. And here comes the engagement right in the middle, storming everybody up. Stasis does catch the science vessels. That's big. More storms. Zealots getting on top of everything. Vultures inside the group with the siege tanks. Wiping out those Zealots. Once those guys are gone, it's time for the Dragoons to fall back. No reason to fight anymore. You're probably just going to get wiped out. But, yeah, like I said, this is reality's time. He needs to start moving. He needs to start killing bases, because if he fails at that, then he is done. He's done for. He needs to slow down this Protoss machine. He needs to make the Protoss lose some of its income, some of his gate production, something. And yeah, this is the move out. I was going to say, he's not even sieging his tanks. He's sieging his tanks. Whoa, bam. That one Dragoon takes the volley of like 7 siege tanks. That one dies too. What did I say was probably going to happen here? Terran was going to come down and probably kill the main base of Violet, and this is what we're looking at. So, yeah, Dragoons dying all over the place. They're getting replaced. 7 Dragoons and 7 Zealots at a time. Arbiters come in, go for a stasis? No, they're just here to, like, fight, I guess. I don't know. They don't have energy for that, I suppose. Yeah, that's it. They're too new. They're too new, but they're like, you don't have any Goliaths with your army, so EMP does get tossed down on this Arbiter. I mean, it went from like 50 energy to 0, so not the biggest of deals here. But, oh, man. Look at this tank position. You can fire on the natural base. Nope, sorry, the main base and the third base simultaneously. Just brutal stuff. How's Violet going to deal with this Terran being so mean? Army seems to be more heading down, counterattacking into Reality's base, where there is honestly not a lot back here. So do we base trade? What's the play going to be right now? Yeah, third Nexus, very dead. Zealots charging out of the main base, out of the gateways where they were produced. Good storm on the tanks. That whole group, the storm damage doesn't stack. So that was like 3 storms, but it didn't kill the tanks because of the overlapping that was happening there. It sure seems like Violet wants to make a run for that bottom right corner, but he's kind of getting held up by a little bit of Zealot pressure, and Vulture pressure, rather. And then he decides not to, in fact, and he decides to come on down, try to save his main base. He's like, these aren't getting really all that reinforced. There are some Vultures coming in. But the Dragoons can engage with those guys just fine. Not doing a great job target firing those High Templar. He was probably paying attention to something else at the time. D-Matrix Vulture at the front. Dies pretty quickly. EMP gets tossed down. No, doesn't catch that High Templar, but he gets killed before he could storm anyway. Why is he on the front lines? Because we're just A-moving, folks. That's why. Oh, look at this command center being built here. Reality's like, okay, your third base is gone, and guess what? It's mine now. But again, all the Zealots are gone except for a couple of them. So he does save the main base. He lost, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 6 gateways or something. Not ideal. Yeah, 6 gateways looks like what he lost. Pushing in the middle and up the right side now is Reality. Zealots getting some nice hit on. That tank did not die to friendly fire, tank splash, or Zealot attack. Very strange. Dragoons are at +2/+1. It is +3/+2. No upgrades coming in for either player. They're both just making attacking and defensive units here. Sieging up those tanks coming in from both directions. Here comes Violet. D-Matrix tossed on one of those tanks. Storms blanketing the tanks there. Very nice. I think this is going to be a win on this engagement for Violet, and it is. Too much. Tanks can't quite get into that top right there. Good storm on the science vessels, and one of them actually dies thanks to the storm damage, as well as a couple Dragoon hits there. So, excellent. That was a good outcome for Violet. I mean, this base being lost and being given over to Reality is not great, but Reality's natural base is mined out, and his third base is not looking particularly healthy either. More scans coming in, just checking to see is there a carrier transition behind this, and the answer really seems to be no. Just a lot of Arbiter play. Vulture's trying to be aggressive as it is, but man, it's 194 to 108 supply. It is not looking great for Reality. He needed to kill this main base, or at least kill this, and he just didn't do either thing. So he did manage, snuck some tanks all the way over here. It's like, Falcon, but I will take down the main base. Siege tanks firing up. Another gateway goes down. The tech structures are nestled down here in the southern half of the main base. So it's going to be a minute before these tanks work their way down to them. And by a minute, I mean seconds, because they are +3 siege tanks and they do really well against buildings. Is this a recall? This has got to be a recall clump up, right? Recall clump up, like recall onto this army would be pretty rad. Nope, he moved. He moved! He's letting it die. Okay, so new tech structure creation. Yep, Robo, Cyber, Templar. Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to lose here. Maybe an observatory would also be good to replace at one of these bases, just because spider mines are still an issue. Hang on. He does make a move. Comes through the choke. It's great stasis is on 5 of these siege tanks. And then some of the armies coming down to wipe out this base of Realities that he thought he was going to be able to hold on to for longer than this. No, a couple Archons in the mix. They probably got EMP'd and turned into Archons as a result, but this command center is going to die. 2 tanks remain. Arbiters hold back to kill them, I guess, when they come out of stasis. 198 to 117 supply, and it sure seems like Violet has a good handle on this game. It was dicey for a minute, but both times the Realities tried to wipe out the entire main base of Violet. He has failed at it. Zealots coming in. And this is the problem with having gateways in every corner of the map, is that you get surrounded a bunch as a Terran player. My goodness. Storm everywhere. And that's a GG. Violet comes out on top in 23 minutes and 40 seconds. My goodness. That was a fantastic showing of how to play PvZ from Violet. Like, Protoss fans, come on. Look at this game and go, yeah, okay, this makes sense. This is how we can do this. So that's the option, right? Either be super aggressive with your Dragoons and fire on tanks and wipe them out as much as you can and lose all your Dragoons, but it's totally worth it because the tank count is small, and then you can do better battles as you continue with the game. Or you could kill maybe 1 or 2 tanks and just expand 100 times all over the place, man. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bases here on this map. Not a ton of places to expand. That represents a huge number. And then when the Terran moves out and tries to take down your main base, then just do drops, do recalls, do stasises, do what you can to deal with them. Also have gateways in the corners so that not all of your units are coming out of your main. I see that sometimes, right? I see that sometimes Protoss kind of only has gateways in their main base. So the only way they can deal with an attack on their main base is coming from this direction and getting funneled into a choke like this. No. You have gateways up here. You have gateways up here. And then units can come around from the backside. They can threaten to do run-bys on bases. Like, they are free. They are free to go wherever they want. They're not forced to come out through this choke and defend from one direction. You can get that surround going. So really, really great plays here from Violet. Did he ever get +3 attack? Nope. He was on +2, but it was enough because, by golly, he had a ton of cash, and he only had 1,500 minerals at the end of the game. So it's not like he was kicking butt economically and had a giant bank here at the end. He spent every bit of minerals and every bit of gas that he was able to mine here to get this win against a meching Terran player with their cost efficiency, right? So great. I love this animation. The shield popping on this robo as it's getting fired upon. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful game, StarCraft, isn't it? It really is. So yeah, Reality did, I would say, everything right. He got 3 bases. He got 1 million siege tanks. He got +3 attack. He had vultures and spider mines and a couple Goliaths, and he moved out and almost killed the entire main base of the Protoss, but wasn't quite able to do it. And even if he was able to do it, it would have been tough to follow that up with an attack here and an attack here while trying to expand. Don't know. It's tricky. It is. It's really, really tricky sometimes to play TVP. I mean, Protoss fans don't want to hear that, but GG. Well done, Violet. We love you, man. You were a monster, and we remember you. Oh, I gotta sneeze? Okay. Mute sneeze. 194,000 points here for Violet. 162 for Emma Roberts. Whoever that is that an actress? Hang on a second. Emma Roberts is an actress and a singer. And she... what is she known for? The Googles. American Horror Story, Scream Queens, We're the Millers. She's in Madam Web. She's still working. Good for her. All right, fair enough. Reality's a fan, apparently. Anyway, the Terran outproduced the Protoss. Intriguingly, a lot of vultures, I guess. Outkilled the Protoss, too, and outlost the Protoss. Structures raised 35 by the Terran, only 9 by the Protoss, but that doesn't really matter. And this outspend is pretty big, man. I mean, that is a 23... about 22,000 and change resource outspend in only 22 minutes. I mean, that's nuts. That's an extra 1,000 resources spent per minute in this game. Yo! Yep, that expansion pathing, or the expansion timing was great. So, GG! And that's going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw, what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. You take care of yourself.